Right, so what's your first name?
Val.
Val. And so tell us what needs fixing.
Okay, it's the nerves in my neck, so it
Right.
pulls my head around and to the side.
Right,
So I
okay.
can't sort of sit upright, my head keeps going to the side.
Right, okay. And the technical term for it is?
Dystonia.
Dystonia. Okay. Right. So as I work on this one, if there's anybody watching at home that has a problem with dystonia, the particular sound that I use, if you tune in, you should get results as well. The reason I know this, I've had people with MS that they watch my videos and nothing until I'm working on MS. And when I work on MS, their body starts vibrating.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So when I was in the UK last summer, I go to the UK, went 3 months last year, going again 3 months this year. I got approached by a musician, a really well-known musician over there called Medwin Goodall, whose best-selling album is Medicine Woman. You've come across that new age track, it's stunning. And he said, we need to record your music, your E's, and put them into music. And I was like, how are you going to turn that into music? But he has, he's done a wonderful job. So I got to make 3 albums with him. One is the E's set to music. You play that on, put headphones on, and the healing sounds will go through you. And there's different sounds for different things that need fixing. One's love, that opens up the heart center. Another one is restoration. If there's something that needs restoring back to how it was at the beginning, then you use restoration. That's the most powerful track on the album. So the album's called Restoration. There's also healing meditations, which is my words guiding you in things like relaxation, getting off to sleep, whatever you need, with his beautiful music backing. And then the third album, well, as a kid growing up, all I wanted to do was sing. And I wasn't allowed to be in the choir. They did auditions and I failed. And my best friend at the time, Jane Terrace, took me to see the music teacher, Mrs. Hampson, and said, please, Mrs. Hampson, could Jeanette be in the choir? And Mrs. Hampson said, no, I'm sorry, we've done the test and she can't. But please, and there must have been tears welling in my eyes, but Mrs. Hampson said, no, sorry, she can't. And I must have been really, really close to tears, because in the end, Mrs. Hampson said, well, all right, then if you stand at the back and sing like this. So I was only little then, I was only about 8. Broke my heart. And a few years ago, I'm 56 now, but a few years ago, maybe around 51, 52, I decided, oh, to hell with it, I'm going to go have some lessons. My first lesson, because if you want to sing and you can't, have lessons, yeah? It's not just people that can sing that should have lessons. If you can't sing, go have lessons. And the first lesson I had, the lady said, oh, you're a contralto. And I'm like, oh, well, what's that? Well, there's soprano, which is high, and then there's alto, and then contralto is the deepest of the female voices. If you listen to my voice, I'm not a girly girl, am I? I've got a deep voice. And she says that would be why you had that experience with your school choir, because she'd been looking for sopranos. You can't sing soprano because you're deep. I'm like Alison Moyet, deep, yeah. Don't quite sing like Alison Moyet. Irish. So what happened was I said to Medwin, look, I've always wanted to sing. Could we please just have a go? And he says, all right, give me a little sample of what you do. He says, yes, I think I can do something with that. And so I got to make a singing album as well. That's Mantras. And that's, it's an amazing album, though I say so myself. It's beautiful. I'll pop it on at the interval for you to listen to. But basically, it's myself and my daughter singing. And each of the mantras it's just a few words. They're all in Indian. And each of them has meaning. Like you might have one that's giving thanks for the earth, or you might give one that's thanks for intelligence and creativity. And really good listen to with headphones. Medwin's really clever. He layers the music onto 32, 33 layers of sound. He makes them sound exquisite. Now, what's happening for you? Any sensation, any warmth? What's happening?
Not really.
No, nothing yet? No? Okay. And you can see how quickly on this healing I've come into the physical level. So where everything's getting stuck is on, see what they're doing with my head now. They're letting me have great empathy for you by feeling how it feels inside of you. All right, now whenever the neck is a problem, it's because we're failing to see things from all sides and all angles. So an antidote for this is to say, I see things from all sides and all angles.
Shall I say?
Yeah, just internally, just inside yourself. I see things from all angles and all perspectives. Now, they're turning my head again now. So, Albert Einstein says this, or he did when he was alive. A higher form of intelligence, intelligence is the ability to see a situation from more than one standpoint without the need to collapse either view of reality. God bless. Cool. So what's happening now is we've got two surgeons working. Okay, because they've got to alleviate tension here. So the tension's under where my hand is on the right side. And they're trying to build a matching tension over to the left by the feel of things. Now what's happening for you? What does it feel like inside of your neck?
It's warm.
Just warm? Is it warm just on the right side?
No, it's on the left now.
It's on the left now, cool. And I'm only touching very slightly with the fingertip there. So that's muscular. They're looking at both and trying to line it up. So what they did for me was they made me feel how your neck feels first, and then they've lined me up. So they've seen what needs to happen to get it stuck, and then unstuck. Now this is another healing where we may need another teaspoonful of purple powder, okay? It depends on what's happening within the cells, whether or not we need the extra purple powder. The purple powder is designed particularly for people 40 plus to give them extra energy. The feeling of being alive is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and as we get older, from age 20 to age 80, it diminishes so that by the time we're 80, we've only got 25%, a quarter of the ATP we had when we were 20. And so that ATP is used for all our biological functions, for breathing, for talking, for walking, for picking up garbage, for going to the toilet, for digesting food. And very often as we get older, there isn't then enough ATP left over for healing and for repair. And that's what this product is specifically designed to do. It's designed to feed a little organelle in your cell called a mitochondria that makes the ATP. So if your body makes ATP, you've then got more energy to do whatever it is your body needs to do. Now we can never say that this product, this micronized purple rice, can fix a particular condition because we don't know what's happening in your body. But we can get curious and say, well, try taking it for a month and you tell me what changed. Some lovely things I have seen happen. I've seen a chap in his 80s no longer have dementia. That was amazing. And that same man's snow white hair has started growing back black.
Oh.
That takes some doing, doesn't it? Yeah? For me, my hair, my skin, my nails just grow like crazy because I've got more energy than I need. So the affirmation for this one is, I see things from all angles and all sides. No one perspective is ever the truth. What happens is we walk around life, and inside of us we've got our perspectives of life, formed at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 3/4, 27 and so on. But they're only the perspectives of us at the age we were. It's not the truth. And yet we then sometimes make key decisions in life based on perspectives, and those perspectives may not be true. So I just want all of you to just say to yourself that no one perspective is ever the absolute truth. No one perspective is ever the absolute truth. And what we need to do is we need to become open to more perspectives. Then we get closer to the absolute truth by seeing things from more and more sides. The sound that comes through me, it will come through for the length of time it needs to. It comes through at the right volume, it comes through at the right pitch. It can end as abruptly as it starts. If it doesn't take out everything it needs to, they'll use another sound until they get like the all clear. Now, just notice how you're feeling. Is it any different to you?
Yes.
How's it feeling different?
It's not so dragging and pulling on the side.
Yep.
I feel it straighter.
Awesome, that's good, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, there ain't anything this healing can't fix, guys. There are people it can't fix. Sometimes people have got like something that they're holding on to. Like I worked on, at the same time I had 2 people with MS at the same time. Actually I had 3 people with MS at the same time. One I was able to help with MS in one session. He came in with walking sticks, he went out not needing his walking sticks, he could walk up the stairs, everything, he was entirely normal. Another lady I was working on with MS at the same time in the UK, I couldn't fix her, worked on her week after week after week after week, but the situation she was faced with was this. Her partner believed it was all in her head. So if she got well, he'd be able to say, it's all in your head. And what was happening was that her son would come from London, pick her up, spend the whole weekend with her, stay overnight, have a nice meal with her, and then bring her for healing, and then go home. And her son wouldn't be doing that if she didn't have her MS. So this is entirely fixable, which is good to know, isn't it? You were worrying about where this was going. Yeah, it's just muscles. But the affirmation to use is I see things from all angles and all sides. I see things from all angles and all sides. Right, just try turning your head, just see how that's feeling. And I'm just going to look from the front to see how even you're looking now. That's a lot better than to begin with. How's it feel?
No, it feels good.
Yeah, awesome. Give her a round of applause.